Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar, Building Meaningful Customer Relationships Using Hover to Win More Business. My name is Michelle Letman, and I am the content media producer here at Surefire Local. I am also joined by our webinar ninja, Steve Eastlack, who is ready and excited to help answer your questions. Speaking of those questions, you can communicate with us using the question box in your webinar control panel, which is on the right-hand side of your screen. Why don't you go ahead and see if you can locate that right now and let us know where you're joining us from today. We'll be sending messages and discussion questions to the group throughout the webinar, so make sure you check back there later. Exciting news from us, we just launched the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud. It makes it simple to control, manage, and optimize your digital marketing, all with a single secure login. To get a perspective of how your marketing is working, business owners can get all the marketing data in one dashboard within the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud. We make local business owners successful. Today, one lucky attendee is going to take home a Google Home. We will be announcing the winner at the end. If you don't happen to win one, though, you don't have to go home empty-handed. Everyone here today is eligible to get a Google Chromecast when they complete a digital marketing consult, but I will get more to that towards the end of the webinar. Today, I am joined by Dena Nejad, Director of Marketing at Hover. Dena is the Director of Marketing. She is an engineer turned marketer who has spent 8+ years of her career introducing new technology to the construction industry. I also have Jeff White, who is the VP of Client Services here at Surefire Local, and I can assure you that today's webinar is going to be very exciting, so I'm going to pass it on to Jeff now. Jeff, take it away.
Thanks, Michelle, and thanks everyone for joining today. I'm excited to join Dena and introduce her presentation. Hover is an impressive tool for contractors and goes hand in hand with Surefire's philosophy of making tools that are easy to use, save you time, and directly contributes to lead generation and the overall growth of your business. On today's agenda, we're going to cover in the presentation today parts of the homeowner's journey and their expectations to help kind of set the table of what tools like Hover and like the Surefire Marketing Cloud, how they can help. And how visual is so important today as part of what you do and present yourself and the services that you provide, how that visual element is so important today. And then we're also going to talk about the credibility of using technology, the latest technology, and to differentiate yourself from your competitors and provide a fantastic customer experience. So before we get into that, part of the thing to understand is how the sales process is very much an online activity today. And it needs to consistently evolve with how people search, because we live in what we call today a Google-centric world, which means we live in a mobile-centric world. And that's whether how you advertise your business or how you conduct your business, mobile is an increasingly vital element. And it's not only how people find you online through search, social, and even voice search. And then even when they get to your website, they're filling out forms, they're interacting with you via chat, but we see in a much more mobile-centric world that things like click to call, and whether it's on an ad, whether it's on your Google My Business listing, or whether it's on your mobile-friendly website, the idea of people interacting with you and your business via mobile is increasingly important. And so, are you meeting homeowner expectations? It's an important question to ask yourself. Because when you meet with that prospective customer, their expectations are different than what they were a few years ago. Do you have a healthy digital footprint? When they researched you, did they find you online? Did they find reviews about you online? And then once you schedule that appointment, are you presenting an air of technical sophistication? As demographics are shifting, millennials are increasingly buying home improvement services. It's important to meet them on their on their level in terms of their technology savviness. And then with all that put together, am I in good hands? Is essentially what you're trying to present to that prospective client. And so visual, again, is a way to win, and it's a way to differentiate yourself. And most importantly, do I have the right tools? And on today's topic, Hover is an example of that, where you'll see that visual is vital. And with Hover, a contractor that is using Hover, you'll know that you're in good hands, and in particular, you'll see what you're paying for. It's just an easy tool that can demonstrate that for homeowners. So before we get into diving into Hover, let's start with the basics and a little bit more about the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud. And a note about the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud is that again, as a speed and time saver, this is a helpful tool for you and your customers. This functionality within Surefire Cloud, and this is just one of many, where as an example, you can simplify your life, make it easier in terms of publishing to your social sites. This screenshot just shows one of the functionalities where with this one location you can publish to your website, publish to your social sites, and for your social sites you can publish once within the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud, but yet it'll go out to many different social sites. And so again, it goes hand in hand with a tool like Hover. It's where you can really show the power of what it is that you do, and then simplify, save, and with that, I'll let Dena take it from here and go into more detail about Hover.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi, everyone, and I'm so excited to be here. As Jeff alluded, it's really, really important for us today as sales teams, as contractors, to be able to align ourselves correctly with the expectations of the buyers and the homeowners. And as he mentioned, the visual aspect in creating transparency for the homeowners is key. It's key in terms of meeting their expectations, but also it's key in terms of being able to set yourself apart and show that what your service is all about beyond just price. And with that, I'd like you to learn a little bit about the Hover platform. And what Hover is, to just start, is essentially a platform where you can use our mobile app on your smartphone devices and take a few photos of a home. We ask for 8. You just walk around and capture those photos and submit it to us. And we transform those photos with our technology to a full 3D model that gives you all the exterior measurements of the house that you would need, as well as customizing options and design features where you can show a homeowner what their own project could potentially look like. So just to reiterate a little bit of what you get from those 8 simple photos, we provide you all the measurements. And when I say all, I'm talking about square footages of the roof, the key line segments for the full roof, by each facet. We give you the pitch, but we also give you all the square footage of the siding. We give you windows measurements, doors, bricks, stone, you name it, and we divide it by the material type that that particular home is made out of. And you can leverage this information, one, obviously to make your job easier, to put together a quick estimate that you're confident in, that you can present to your homeowner, but also via our 3D model, our interactive 3D model in our platform, you can show the homeowner where these measurements are coming from. You can show them why something will cost the amount that you're proposing. You can show them why certain areas are maybe harder to fix up or to remodel or to replace, and really get them engaged in the process of getting to know their home, but also why essentially they have to pay the price that you're proposing. And I think that's really, really important because as you know, there's this whole new generation of home buyers where they are very keen to understand why certain things are happening. They're much more technology savvy, but they also want a sales rep that's much more consultative and is able to educate them throughout the process and not just hand them essentially a code or a number that they have to abide by. The other aspect of the Hover platform that we're finding many of our contractors today find super valuable is our design features. So within the Hover platform, once you've gotten the 3D model of the home that you're about to go and show their homeowner what the project is going to entail, allows you to change the different material on the house to different colors, to different, essentially material type. You can change the siding, you can change the paint color, you can change the roof, the brick, the windows, the trims, the fascia, you name it, and you can really express to the homeowner what their end project can look like. And this is so important because there's this whole discovery element within this platform where the homeowner can really discover and see different options of what they can do to their house that normally they would need an architect to do, and potentially a very expensive one. But also it creates this very emotional experience for the homeowner where through visualizing they can really see what they are to expect. And it's not just sketched on a piece of paper, and it's not just theoretically described to them, but they can really see it and they can really become attached to that project. And what that means for you as a contractor is a quicker yes, a quicker let's get started, a quicker here's a signature on the contract, and it will help you process that work much faster. The other aspect of the Hover platform, which is really important, and I alluded to some of these things that are really important to the homeowner, is that it creates transparency, and it allows you to come across as very honest and very credible in terms of the work that you offer, and help the homeowner really establish trust and be okay with you, essentially disrupting a very sacred environment of theirs, the biggest asset they could potentially be owning. And through the platform, you can just be able to show them that you understand what is expected and you know what you're doing, and you can support them throughout this process and make sure a great amount of work and also spectacular work is delivered. Some of we already have thousands of contractors that are using the Hover platform, but I think the way that I often hear it explained, aside from all the accurate measurements and all the design features and all the the meat of the platform, I often hear contractors explain Hover as something that's helped them establish their professionalism. They come across as again, very reliable partners in this home remodeling process, and they can really set themselves apart from their competition, which is really important in terms of winning businesses, but also homeowners being happy to refer you to somebody else. And what we've heard over and over, we've done so much research and we've asked this question over and over of the contractors that are already on our platform is, how is Hover impacting your business? And what we constantly hear, and I've already alluded to these, but just to put it in a much more concrete form, people say they see an increase in their close rates because homeowners are just much more confident and they want to do business. But aside from that, they see an increase in their average job price because the homeowners are sitting there and they're going through all the design features and discovering really interesting new materials that might be more expensive to install, or they might be premium products. So they're seeing this average job price go up. Another thing we hear is that You know, someone could be going in to redo a roof, and they show a new roof to the homeowner, and all of a sudden they're like, well, what if I had this color on my siding? And all of a sudden a roof project turns into a roof replacement and a paint job. And that's another way where we've seen people really be able to increase their job sizes. Another thing is that because Hover offers you all the measurements that you could potentially need on the exterior of the house to be able to code any job, we've seen a lot of people express that they've been able to shave off time off of the whole estimating and material list building process. They have everything that they need, and they can provide that information to the homeowner much quicker. And then lastly, again, because of the measurements, because you don't have to hand measure, you don't have to climb on a roof, you don't have to, you know, essentially write down every single detail, you don't have to go back to a house because maybe you forgot to measure something or ask something. We've seen a lot of our contractors be able to run additional leads, and we're hearing 1 or 2 leads a day have been the number that the contractors have been able to achieve. And you know that 1 or 2 additional leads per sales rep, per organization could really mean substantial amount of revenue over, you know, a period of time. So this is essentially the Hover platform. There's so much more to it. There's a lot of other cool features that I would have loved to show you here, but we don't have enough time for that. But I would love it if you guys in the chat, if you could answer some questions in regards to, you know, what type of contractors are you, what type of work you do, how are you getting measurements today, and what are you using today? Is there a sales tool that you particularly like that you're using? And potentially, you know, how do you see Hover fitting into your business? If you could write that in the chat, we will love to start having a conversation around it. But also, check out our website. It's www.hover.to. It's different. It's not .com. It's .to/sign up. You can sign up for a 30-day trial there. We give you $125 to try it and, you know, hover a couple of different houses to see whether or not it's something that you can benefit from. And from there, you know, just reach out to us and we're happy to answer any of your questions. I'll hand it back to Steve now.
Thank you, Dena. That was really great. So now we're going to go on and take a quick poll before we move on to announcing the Google Home winner and the Q&A. So let's take a quick pause here. We're going to do a poll, as I mentioned earlier. We're offering a complimentary digital marketing consultation for all attendees today and a free Google Chromecast for all who qualify. Hover can give you a first look at what your final project would look like, and the same goes with a digital marketing consultation. During a consult, we will sit down with you and review your entire website and current marketing program. The marketing consult is a great one-on-one session with an expert to give you recommendations about your digital marketing. When you attend your consultation, we'll help you identify opportunities across your online presence and make recommendations. So please take a moment here to say yes to a digital consultation, and don't forget to ask for a demo of the Surefire Local Marketing Cloud during the consult. So while they're doing the poll, we could do a quick question here. So Hannah asks, is it just exterior or can you use this for interior rooms?
Good question. We are focused only on exterior. There's plenty of solutions that do interior already, and we focus on exterior. There's so much value that we can add there and measurements that we can provide that our focus is exterior.
All right, and then I guess we'll do one more. Why not? How does Hover help improve my close rates?
Oh, it's a great question. Some of them that I alluded, and I'll recap here. The main way that Hover allows you to improve your close rates is the service that you can offer with it to the homeowners. I think being able to leverage the modern day technology and giving homeowners that 3D model of their own home. Obviously, you don't have to give them the measurements. That can stay for you, and you can do your estimation with that and make sure that they don't have that information, but you can give them the model and the design features. It's something that we've seen so many of our contractors leverage to set themselves apart from their competition. It's key in helping you close more business and increase your close rates in general. I think ultimately homeowners want to deal with people they trust and find reliable, and our platform is definitely one to help you do that.
All right. Great. So now Steve is going to close the poll. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to answer the question. Now I'm going to announce the Google Home winner. Today's lucky recipient of the Google Home is Jeremy Johnson. Congrats, Jeremy. Please email marketing@surefirelocal.com with your full mailing address, and we will ship that right out to you. So now we are going to move on to the rest of the Q&A. We have some great questions for you, Dena. So the next question is, does Hover require you to have a unique login for each crew member, or can one login be used across the company?
Yeah, it's a great question. We ask everyone to have a unique login, and the main reason for that is that every property that you capture can stay under your login and not get mixed up with anybody else. You do have the freedom of assigning a property or a job to someone else in your organization, but for you to be able to go back and pull up the right 3D model and measurements and all the information on that home, we want to make sure that people know what they've captured and have access to that. So yes, separate logins.
Awesome. Is Hover mobile only, or is there a desktop version?
That's a great question. So the app is on mobile devices, on iPhone, Android, and iPad. There is a desktop web platform where you can access all your job information, all the images you've ever captured, all the measurements for every property you ever had. You can also, set up your plan there and add team members. So yeah, there is a web platform associated to it.
Okay. Well, next question is, if one crew member uploads a photo, does the rest of the team have access to view that photo, or just the one who uploaded it?
Great question. So there is an admin on every account. That person has access to every single photo that's ever been captured. If someone is not an admin, but they're just a user, they will only have access to the photos that they've uploaded. Now, from an admin perspective, they can assign those photos to somebody else, but again, we'll let you see only the photos you've captured unless you're an admin, which then they can see everybody.
Okay. Next question is, what's the best way to share the 3D models with the homeowner once you create one?
Great question. So if you're using just the Hover platform and you've captured the house and you have the 3D model, we allow you to copy the link of the 3D model and send it to a homeowner, via email or text or any other way you can. There is a new feature that we've just recently launched, which is called Hover Connect. It's a little, just overall, quickly I'll capture it. It's essentially you as a contractor, prior to even showing up to someone's home, you can send a link to that homeowner prior to the appointment, have them download the Hover app and take the photos. And once they do that, they'll receive a 3D model with the design features that way as well. This feature is really, really great in the sense that it allows you to have all the photos and the measurements and the 3D model before you even show up to someone's house.
All right. Next question is, can the Hover app also work on iPad, or is it just iPhone?
No, it's iPad as well. iPad, iPhone, and all Android devices.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question is, can I try it before paying?
Yep, that was the last slide I presented. You can sign up. Again, it's hover.to, or you can download the app. It's Hover 3D from iTunes or Google Play. And once you sign up, we give you 30 days to try it. And during that 30 days, we give you $125 to capture a few properties and really see what it's like.
Great. And then the last question we have is, do you need one measurement of the home for it to work?
Nope. We get this question a lot. All you need to do is walk around the home and capture 8 photos, ground level photos, no need to climb on a roof or anything like that. And based on those 8 photos, we'll be able to provide you all the exterior measurements. So no need to measure anything or submit any form of measurements of your own.
Okay, cool. Well, those are all the questions that we have for today. Thank you, Dena and Jeff, for joining us, and thank you to all of our attendees. Please join us for more upcoming webinars. For details on that and more, you can check out surefirelocal.com. We have a link at the top of the homepage for webinars. If you were napping during our poll, I'll mention one last time, we are offering a Google Chromecast for all who are qualified for a complimentary digital consultation with us. So please email marketing@surefirelocal.com if you are interested. Also, please take a minute to fill out the survey at the end and let us know how we did today and what topics you would like to hear about in the future. Thanks again, and have a great afternoon.
Thanks, everyone.